Hi, my name is Mohammed Mosfir. I'm the head of maths here at WSO. I'm recording this short presentation today to talk you through and give you an insight of mathematics at Key Stage 4. So, to begin with, I'd like to start by introducing our maths team. We're very fortunate here at WSO to have a diverse range of teachers with a wealth of experience teaching in multiple parts of the world. So, the person I'd like to point your attention to in this particular slide is Mr. Yasser Mia, who is going to be our Key Stage 4 coordinator, and he'll be overlooking all matters of Key Stage 4 throughout the year, including assessment dates, assessments themselves, and other curriculum aspects and home learning, etc. This is the rest of the team, so feel free to pause the video anytime if you'd like to take a closer look at who your child's math teacher will be this year. So, looking at the essential equipment for students at Key Stage 4, it's absolutely imperative that every child comes to school with their correct equipment, and that includes a writing pen, either black or blue, a pencil, and we also ask students to bring either a purple or a red pen so that they can mark their work and make corrections to any work or mistakes that they may have made in their books. It's also very important for students to have the correct geometry set, so having a ruler, a compass, a pair of compasses, and a protractor will make their lessons in geometry run a lot more smoothly if everybody has the correct equipment. At Key Stage 4, all assessments are calculator based, so it's therefore extremely important for all children to have their own calculator, and it has to be a scientific calculator. The one we recommend are the two that we recommend are the ones on the screen. However, the one on the left has now been discontinued. So the one we recommend now would be the FX991CW. That's the calculator that we recommend because it's also compatible with A-level and IB. So if your child is going to be pursuing maths later on, this calculator will be suitable for those courses. If your child has a different scientific calculator, that is also fine. You don't need to go out and buy a new one. They will also be perfectly fine for the IGCSE course. In terms of the learning scheme, so we do follow the IGCSE course, which is the International GCSE. The course is split into two tiers, so there's the foundation tier and a higher tier. And Edexcel, the exam board, have actually introduced a new modular scheme and exam series for this current academic year. So it's going to be the first time that they've introduced it, which means our current Year 11 cohort will still be following the linear scheme, and our current Year 9 and 10 cohorts will be doing the modular exams at the end of Year 11. Effectively, the curriculum content is exactly the same, so all the topics that was in the linear course is the same as the ones in the modular course, except the way they are examined will be slightly different. So when the current Year 9s and 10 students get into Year 11, they will be doing a Unit 1 and a Unit 2 paper, as opposed to just two papers, which is how it currently is with the linear model. So as far as assessments are concerned, throughout the year, students who are new to the school will have a baseline so that we have the data that we need on them to be able to put them in the most appropriate classes. The assessments throughout the year consists of two types of assessment: CFU assessments and end of term or end of year assessments. The CFU assessments are shorter assessments that stands for Check for Understanding. These are usually based on topics that students are learning in class or have been learning in the weeks leading up to that CFU assessment. They're typically short and last between 20 to 40 minutes and only consist of about 4 or 5 questions. These CFU assessments give us an idea of any gaps in knowledge in students or how they've been able to grasp a particular topic. The end of term assessments are more summative assessments that give us a broader idea of how they're performing in that term. So the end of term assessments will be bigger assessments, typically lasting an hour, and they will be on all the topics that students have learned throughout the term. At the end of the year, Year 9 and Year 10 will sit internal exam assessments as well as external GL progress test assessments. And Year 11 will sit their IGCSE exams in the summer. They will have opportunities to do mock exams throughout the year. All the dates of the assessments will be shared at least 3 weeks prior to any assessments taking place. So the examinations for the IGCSE take place in the summer. Students will have 2 examination papers to sit. This is the case for both the linear and the modular series. So in both cases there are 2 examination papers. Both the papers are calculator. They're both worth 100 marks and they are both 2 hours in length. And the assessment objectives and weightings to the right, again, doesn't change or differ from the modular to the linear scheme, so they're exactly the same. In terms of home learning, so we use Sparx as the platform for home learning in Key Stage 4. Home learning is set every Wednesday and the task will be assigned on Microsoft Teams as well, so your child will have a calendar that they can keep up with. Every Wednesday the task will be set and students will have 1 week to complete their home learning task. The task typically lasts around 30 minutes and the questions are generated using AI technology, so it's differentiated and targeted to students' different needs and strengths. The tasks typically will be on topics that students are learning in class and also built to consolidate students' prior learning to then help them prepare for their upcoming assessments on any topics that they may have covered before. In terms of class settings, so students are set in year 9, 10 and 11. Those sets are 1K G&E, 2K G&E and so on. So it's important to note that in year 9 all students cover the same content. There's one scheme of learning and I will share all the schemes of learning as a PDF with all the parents after this presentation. So in year 9 all the students cover the same scheme of learning. In year 10 and year 11 students in sets 1, 2 and 3 will be entering for the higher exam and students in set 4 will be entering for the foundation exam. The deadline to enter students into their official examination is not until late February, so we do have the January mocks if you're concerned about your child who's currently studying for either higher foundation and you think maybe the other tier would be better suited for them. There is still time to enter them into the different tier later on in the academic year. So I would propose that we wait until the mock exams take place in the new year and then we can make a decision based on the results that we have. We do aim to minimize set changes, however the set changes are fluid, so students, and these are usually based on performance and factors such as homework, contribution, effort, etc., primarily based on the performance and merit of students depending on how well they do on the assessments. So that is for students being able to potentially move up into sets or also down into sets. It's also important to mention that students in year 10 and year 11 will be covering all of the course content just as they do in year 9. However, the difference between the sets is that they might move at a slightly different pace if they are in a higher set. They will still be able to cover all of the content prior to any examinations. They'll just move at a slightly different pace that is better suited to students' needs. If you'd like to support your child at home further, we do recommend a few websites. One of them is again Sparx. So as well as the homework platform, there's also an independent learning section where each topic students learn have a Sparx code attributed to it, which you will receive on the schemes of work. And students are able to log on and do independent work and practice. So there's videos available and questions available for students to work on to develop their fluency and problem solving skills and improve or have more opportunities to practice questions. We also recommend Corbett Maths and Maths Genie, which are websites that have free printable worksheets that students can access and you can also access, and they contain a lot of questions that will support students doing extra practice and consolidation work at home. In terms of books, we recommend the CGP Edexcel International GCSE Revision and Practice book. So the one on the left contains all the topics and all the areas of maths that students will be assessed at GCSE, and the one to the right contains the grade 8 and 9 targeted exam practice. So both books are available on Amazon. If you wanted to purchase any books for your child to do work at home, we would recommend one of these two. I hope you found the presentation useful and informative, and if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out anytime. Thank you.